What up, fish people? Kenny E with Daniken Aquatics. Well, moving right along to number 18 of the Daniken Aquatics top 100 fish of the fish house is the Exodon, or better known as the Bucktooth Tetra. These are an amazing fish. Absolutely love them. They are from the Amazon basin, Guyana. They are complete tears. You do only want to keep these by themselves. If you want to have bottom feeders with them, what you need to do, as you can see, they're not killers like everybody thinks. There is a bristlenose pleco in here with them. The key with these guys, if you are going to keep bottom feeders, you want the maintenance crew to be in there. The key is to make sure to put them in first. Anything that's already in the tank, they do not consider prey. With the exception, you obviously don't want to keep any smaller fish species with them. I'm referring to just bottom feeders, perhaps. I don't know if I would do much more than a pleco with them, really. Anything you put in after they've established the tank, they consider prey. I don't care what it is. They would basically attack anything else you put in there. Now, they do best in schools of 8 or more. If you keep them in schools less than that, they tend to not do well. They pick at each other, and then they'll cause wounds on each other and die of infections and whatnot. So it's not very wise to keep them not in a bigger school. I think we have like 13 or 14 of them in this school. And they've been doing quite well. I keep mine in a 55-gallon, heavily planted. And we got some manzanita wood in here, a couple other little rock structures. I put the rock in there mostly for the pleco to have a place to hide in case they did get a little unruly. I've also got I think there's 2 total plecos in here. There's another little hide there that I made, just so the plecos have a place to hang out where they won't get bothered by them. Now they get a max size of just under 5 inches, about 4.5 inches or so. As you can see, mine are pretty well grown. I got these from a nice guy by the name of Jesse. He was gracious enough to not only allow me to get me these Exodons, but he also let me shoot his amazing fish room. And you guys can check that video out on my channel as well. It's Fish Room Tour Jesse Jacobson. He has an amazing fish room. So check that out if you get a chance. But like I said, these are super cool. They are obviously in my top 10. I come down here and I'm just fascinated by these guys. They eat a wide range of diet, even though they are predators. They will take just about any of the pellets, and then they like bloodworms, and I do feed them shrimp and a few other things. I haven't found too many meaty substance that they won't eat. They eat beef heart is another thing they like. That I don't feed too much of that because it's quite messy, but they will eat it. They do enjoy it. You do want to use caution when cleaning their tank. I haven't had blood drawn, but they have nipped at me a few times while cleaning their tank. So you want to always be present where they are. I don't think they would do any real damage to you, but it's not worth the risk. They do have sharp little teeth on them, and they could. But if you're looking for something different, kind of cool to keep, to me, they're gorgeous. I absolutely am just mesmerized by their sheen. I'm trying to get it to where the camera will focus on that sheen for you. You guys can see it a little bit. But they got this like almost iridescent glow to them that's just hypnotizing almost. But this is most of their day, man. Just kicking back. They're a little bit more hyped up because I'm in front of them and they think they're going to get some sort of food. So they're a little amped up at the moment. But like I said, if you want to keep them, just make sure that you keep them in a large school. They do better. This is by far one of the funnest fish I think I've kept. I mean, they're just, like I said, they're just fun to watch, and this is their activity most of the day, just kind of cruising the tank, chilling out. They have never picked on that pleco the whole time he's been in here. So if you guys are enjoying this series, please hit that like and subscribe button. And if you would, share it out to your friends, and by God, leave us a comment, because we like to answer them. I love the red in their fins too. I mean, if you saw this in a pet store, you wouldn't know it was a predator type fish by looking at it. It just looks like a normal Tetra to most folk. But they do have some serious teethies on them. And I've had these guys, God, I'm trying to think when I did that. Was it January or so of last year or this year? I can't remember. I've had these guys quite a while now. I think it's going on a year's time now. Might even be a little over a year. I can tell you, when I posted Jesse Jacobson's video is when I got them that day, so whenever I did that is when that's the day I got them, so I'll be able to backtrack that. But like I said, guys, if you're looking for something different, something they can do a decent skate, they don't seem to mind the plants, they don't mess with them much. I don't have great plants in here. I've got a couple okay plants. But I do like having this stuff. It breaks up the stuff a little bit. This is actually needing to be thinned out a bit because now it's starting to obstruct how they swim. I like the middle part of the tank to remain open so they got their free space for swimming, but they do like the plants. Seems to calm them down. The other reason I put this particular plant in, these guys are known jumpers too. You really want to make sure you have a tight lid on your tank. I'm almost thinking down the road, I'm moving a bunch of fish to the next room over. Danny and I are going to be, I don't know what they call it, downsizing. We're upgrading tanks and everything. I don't know if we'll have as many tanks when we're done, but everything in the house will be averaging like 75 gallons. We're going to be putting a bunch of 75s in the room next to us. And then I think the smallest tanks that will be in the house after we're done will be 30 gallons. And the only thing that will be housed in those are shrimp. Danny and I want to start getting more into the breeding again. So we are going to be amping up our breeding stock and our breeding tanks. And then also, when you're at the level we are now with the amount of tanks we have, the bigger the tank, the better. It's just, we get so much more done when we're doing the bigger tank rooms because literally you can start the draining process and it gives you time to do the glass and get the filters clean and all the things needed to make the tank look great. Where when you're dealing with those type of tanks, you have to sit there and the whole time while it's draining and everything else. So, but all the tanks on the rack are all heavily planted tanks. So anyway, guys, wanted to show you the good old Exodons. Or common name is Bucktooth Tetra. So these guys coming in at number 18 on the Daniken Aquatics top 100 fish of the fish house. And like I said, strongly recommend them if you're somebody that likes to keep stuff a little different. This is definitely a cool fish that would fit the bill. I constantly, when people come to my house, this is one of the tanks they immediately home in on when they're in this room. They absolutely dig it, actually. So as always, love your fish. It's going to be Kenny E. Going to check out for now. Look for number 17 tomorrow by Miss Danny. And we're getting close, guys. We'll have this here top 100 ended by the month of August. So as always, love your fish. This is Kenny E. with Daniken Aquatics. Going to check out for now. Thanks again. Have a good night.